As you know, the more the merrier. So here I go. Another attempt, a new podcast here with some guy who thinks he's a world desperately needing to know his thoughts on IPAs. Honestly, who decided we need more content where men sit around and give us their expert take on things like which nacho cheese is the best or what deodorant they swear by? I mean, really, are there people out there just begging another tune and for another hour of unfiltered options on football stats? What about those fantasy leaks? And are we just sitting at home thinking, gosh, what I'm missing out on right now in the sound of two dudes debating which fried appetizer is to survive a blast? And took a look at some AI podcasts. There are fine. There's already some beautiful research and ones people are actually, I don't knowing, reading books or going great deal review and interview before when they hit record. But why do these? They get buried under the sand while we keep popping up castles in the sand, up the does, and where it's just those, I mean not does, sorry, guys who met as a dive bar and realized that they could turn their weekly BS session into an actual production of a podcast. Let's talk about the content here. Hello, Dee. Need a full 45 minutes of why my burrito performances say something about your dating life or top 10 universal truths of manhood? As explained by those two people who barely passed psych. Oh, spoiler alert, we don't. Yet somehow it keeps coming. Megan, an entire series dedicated to the subtleties of the light bearers, and refreshing a three-partner on tune with a grill of a hot dog. And don't even get me started on how these cringy inside jokes, they repeat like it's their personal Seinfeld catchphrases. Just, this is a never-ending spiral of bad comedy. And if it's not food, it's fitness. Bro Science Radio, hosted by two dudes who can't even get their deadlift form right. They'll spend 20 minutes telling you carbs are bad and then segue into their deep analysis of what's wrong. It's a bad situation with a hero on that body count and off the field. That's about them and they're giving questionable relationship advice to me. And can we have a PSA, please, telling everyone out there that it's just because of your Tinder date that called you funny? Once doesn't mean the world needs to hear your alpha approach to dating. Can we just all admit that the content drought has reached such severe levels that people think their hot takes on sandwich rankings are some kind of public service? And the titles, don't get me started on the You've Got the Podcast Dude Bro banter balling with the boys. All of them with that exact same smug we're just so relatable vibe to each other. Every episode sounds like it was brainstormed by two frats who got trapped in a Buffalo Wild Wing contest with a microphone. And somehow every single episode promises to finally tackle the big day issue is the big day, which is apparently code for argument over the optimal temperature of the rising grilling of which action movie star is the most underrated on that team. It's like they think they're just waiting to hear about Arnold and his casting moves. They believe, doesn't that get in? Oh no, gets enough credit. And then half of these guys have a whole segment where they bring on their buddies as guest experts, you know the one. And what these experts do, give us the same exact opinions, but with more accent. If they're lucky, maybe accent. Maybe a reference to that one time that the smell got totally eggy and it plastered at Jimmy's bachelor party in Vegas. Like, yes, tell us again about the time you passed on and out of the strip and missed your flights. Riveting. Oh, why can't we hear more about the lessons these podcasts feel obligated to share? As if the guys behind Real Talk with Randy and Tang have truly cracked the code on adulthood. Here's one. Sometimes you gotta grind it out. You know, another classic. You just have to find a balance, bro. The way they talk, you think they're dropping Socratic, sacral, Socrates wisdom. Oh, and in reality, it's just rehearsed Pinterest, and they somehow think they apply it because they're a self-help book method master. And let's not pretend they know anything about production value. It's like they're recording in someone's mom's garage with zero soundproofing, and the entire episode is filled with clinking of bottles, and some dude smacking chips in the background. And somehow every episode ends with a reminder to like and subscribe, and never miss out. Trust me, I would do a lot to miss out on hearing about how y'all feel about the new beard oil sponsor. If I wanted that, I'd just go to the gas station and eavesdrop on the two guys in the snacks aisle.